Yes, we are live.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, we are live. Welcome to yet another star performer interview episode. And we have Aakrashi Jain from the October-November 2025 batch. She is one of the star performer among her batch, and she exceptionally did her training well and came out with really good marks after her training. And this episode, we will be interacting with her. We will be knowing more about Akrashi Jain and what inspired her to take this mediation training and what she's up to in her mediation career. Okay, over to you, Akrashi. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, Faiza ma'am, thank you for such a good, thorough introduction of mine. So basically, how I got into the mediation profession and by what I got inspired with is basically, so during my law graduation years in the first semester itself, I came like I'm a first generation lawyer. So I was always very nervous about what will happen after 5 years, like how will I able to figure out this and that. So the only thing okay, I can do, I should be doing the most I can do, whether it's competition, whether it's research work, internships, anything. So then I came across a essay writing competition from some NGO from Bangalore, and I happened to participate in this. During my year, because I had a law of thought, generally people have law of thoughts only. So there is a principle of arbitrariness in our, first year law of thoughts. And that's what I found the title of the essay writing competition. It was an article or essay slash research work related only. And then I with my friend participated in that. And when we are copy pasting it the title on the Google, some arbitration law is coming from there. And we're like, somewhere wrong we have participated, which we are not at all aware of what exactly this whole thing is about. And from there, in the first semester itself, I got to know there is some arbitration law. From there, I got to know it's ADR from section 89, from there's a mediation, whole thing, panchayat, like everything we researched about during that time, like very basic what a first year student can understand from that point of view. From there, I got to know about ADR, like that's the starting point of the journey. And then I started participating in competition itself, mediation competition. And I requested the head of at my college during that time to if we can have a mediation committee at my college, and then I happened to become a head of the committee itself, student head. So this thing happened, and because from that first semester, that first essay writing competition lead me throughout 5 years of doing whatever I could was able to do during my graduation years in ADR, and then I did my masters also in arbitration law only from from GD Goenka. And from the when I was in 450 year old during graduation, from there itself I was thinking I want to get a mediation training, I want to get a mediation training. And then I was researching, I know there's so many institutions that provide mediation training, and it has to be accredited one. Either you should be doing from district courts which is recognized in India, or either accredited one. And I was checking out YCM since very long time, and then okay, then I decided, okay, this is the high time I should be doing. I'm done with my master's also. I should be doing, mediation training. And that's how I chose YCM to go with the training. And it was a good decision to be, yeah, that I made.
Yeah. It's very inspiring, your story, love. Like how you and your friend randomly entered arbitration and arbitration law, then only you came to know. And you now you're an LLM graduate with arbitration law, and now you're into EDR practice, all from that one spark in
Yeah,
your research and the whole journey defined. It's
yeah,
truly inspiring for anybody else who is watching this. It's definitely, even in a small spark, you will find your future maybe. So it's very nice. Yes, coming to this, so we all know about Akrashi Jain. Who is she? What is she doing now? And yeah, now before we get into the question, we also got an answer for what motivated you to pursue mediation training. She answered. So yes, moving to the next one, how has the training at YCM influenced your perspective on conflict resolution skills?
okay, so I need to think. The first thing that majorly I remember, there's so much of assumptions I made. Okay, that I might should be talking like this. I should not be interrupting in between when the party is saying. Let them go with the flow. And like, if someone is saying something wrong, maybe in the session, I should not be interrupting because that can offend them and that can cause a less trust in the process. I should not be asking for private caucuses. So these are the assumptions I made. And when we had like when I went through the training and there were, coach is very like highly uh, mediators came into the training and coached like more like corrected us at the instances, and I also raised like, asked these similar questions to them. Ki why should we asking question like why should we motivating party for a private caucus? Isn't it create a doubt in the other party mind, like I'm asking this one party for the private caucus, or why I want to talk to any of the party in private setup. What if it creates any sort of assumption in the other party's mind? It can be vice versa. And then those assumptions that I was having in my mind in relate to these all things got answered, and it was everything making sense. You are supposed to interrupt in between sometimes. You're supposed to ask for private caucus. You're supposed to say party, if someone is wrong, they are wrong in a professional way, that the way it should be done without offending them. So there are very fine lines where should be actually intervening, like during the communications with the with this whole set of conversation happening about a dispute with the parties. So yeah, well, like all these assumptions basically got answered, and I realized there's so many instances like I was going very wrong path, like. And during the training and role plays that YCM provided, from there I got to know, okay, this how it should be done, and it actually somehow helped me do in my working also, because I'm still like working in the ADR industry only. So it does help me from time to time, okay, that there is a right way to interrupt, there is a right way to communicate things, and let other person know, okay, you may be wrong, like, you know so yeah, it's not just like conflict resolution, but in general sense how you are carrying out your things in your professional life. So yeah.
Taking the control of the session
Yeah,
in
correct.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you share a moment during the program that was particularly transformative for you? It can be from any levels or any moment also.
uh
You can explain the scenario, what happened and what,
this
I really needed that, like that.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a single moment, but in each of the sessions that we had throughout the month, in each of the like each day I had that one moment, because we had to have this, this thing what we learned single day, and I used to remember it throughout the thing, like whether it's wherever the my assumptions got cleared out. Okay, this is how I'm where I was wrong. This is the correct way. So like okay, so I know about mediation since first semester of my college during my like BLLB program. And from 7, 6, 6, 7 year, I have my own perception about mediation process, and few things that I think this is the correct way to do it based on the research work, the sessions I attended, like guest lectures and all that. But those things got corrected during the training. So I think there's not a single moment, but each day whenever we had this 7 to 8 hours of we sitting with us and my like that YCM class में जो classmate थे, we people sitting together with the coaches during that time, these people correcting us. I think every day was something I learned. To saying a single moment will be like not a correct thing to do, because there's so much I learned.
Mm. Yeah, okay. You think every day is like
Some
everything you will be learning, something or the other you will be learning.
based on the
Okay,
feedback we got,
fine.
yeah, from the mentors. So yeah.
Great. Is there any one particular mentor or a coach that you liked, and what quality in that mentor you liked, and what inspired from that mentor?
Okay. So like again, I cannot name anyone single, like I remember few people like There's so many mentors we had, so it's honestly I
Mhm.
don't remember name of everyone, but it's also incorrect to say only just one individual because we had this psychological wala session also. That ma'am came. Then we had Kudrat ma'am also.
Kavita Balakrishnan, ma'am.
So we
Yeah,
had the
okay.
Kudrat ma'am also, and then the international coaches were also came. So
Right.
everyone taught something. There's not a single coach I can point out. Yeah. So it's
Okay, fine.
I just the thing is I like the way it went from starting to end. So that's why it's little difficult for me to just point out one moment, one coach, or for me, like everyone was so good. Whether you also, sometimes correcting us, "Ki this is the correct way. So you also, guided us in a lot of instances.
Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. Uh, the next question, it would be, what aspects of the training were most effective for your learning? Like, for example, uh, the the role play sessions that we did, or the training session that we had with the modules that we have did, like psychology we had mediation and culture. So what, any particular session you liked, or which is like most favorite to you?
I think role play and
Yes.
role play is the best one, and the one which is favorite to me is actually it was such a simple dispute, but whenever I think about it, so technical where there are two roommates who are having difficulty living together, and this issue has happened. They want to get separate. One says that this person does not clean the room, and the other person is so busy in the work throughout day and night, and also going to college. Like it's such a story. Like being we maybe would have been in their shoes someday when we had roommates during our college years. So when you're like it feels so complex, still feels so complex. I don't know why. But yeah, that role play was good. I remember that thing. So yeah, it made me control so many things. Like, ki when I am being party, when I am being mediator in that situation, how to be neutral in that state without correlating with the party. Sometimes it's important to not to try not to be in the shoes of the person. So you feel less emotional or less connected to the party and following the neutral state. So yeah, I think that's the role play that was good one.
That's great. You still remember the facts of the case, and I truly appreciate. It's been more than
Yeah,
6 months, but still you remember the facts exactly. That's the involvement that you had, Akrashi. It's
yeah,
good to see that involvement in the role plays. Yes, before we going to wind up the session, will you recommend YCM training to your friends or family or your professional colleagues to
yeah,
get the mediation training?
definitely because I myself it's not that I just randomly came across YCM randomly. I knew like YCM since years. Like sim like just after when I did that essay writing, article writing, whatever we can call it, back in 2020 January. I still remember. From then, I started researching about all the institutions that are there, whether it's 5CM, whether it's like international GEMS or AAA or anything like. So I know generally most of the institutions. So I researched, I was checking all the modules and everything, and then I shortlisted by CM uh, because yeah. So there's no say that I'll not recommend.
Great. Now let's move to rapid fire round. It's one word questions or mostly one sentence answer.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, According to you, what is the one most important quality of a mediator?
Very like okay, one round
Rapid fire, Akrashi.
listening.
Fast
Listening.
listening. Okay. Role play or real life? Which you will choose for a mediation?
Role play. We'll
Role
choose.
play. Listening or questioning? You already answered.
Listening. But questioning is important, but because I already answered, so listening.
Okay. The skill you want to master next.
Questioning,
Okay. Community, workplace, or family, where do you see mediation most needed?
Everywhere.
Great answer. One mentor you told you won't answer this question. If mediation were a symbol, what would it be? Anything, hand gestures also you can show.
Yeah, people hugging, I think, like it
Yeah,
and just because of the commercialized nature of it, civil
yeah,
dispute, all this. But hugging is the most, epic way to say it, I think, because it goes not just on the facts, but also through the psychology of the human beings, like, and how they feel about it. So, yeah.
great, Akashi. Thanks for your time. You answered so good. Your interactive, we had such a good interaction after so long time, and the depth of understanding you had from the training, the research you did even before starting the training, and the involvement you had during the training, and also you're keeping the mediation training in your practice also. Will take you to different heights in future. Definitely, as a mediator, you will grow more. All the best. Stay always connected to YCM.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, let's connect some other event in future.